Hey everybody. So I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the YouTube stream, and of course there's the delay. So I'm sorry about all the black screen there after the introduction. Anyway, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Um, Still got some upper respiratory thing going on. Right now, I've been sneezing a lot the last 2 days. I think it's my allergies actually, because most of the headache's gone, and I stopped the um, Paxlovid a couple of days ago. So um, yeah, feeling much better. A lot of the energy's back. So anyway, wanna actually work on some stuff. So today, what I've got in front of me here is, let me switch cameras. Sorry. Okay. Is an Apple IIe that I picked up at VCF Midwest thanks to Adam from Adam's Apples. Adam can smell an Apple IIe 100, paces away. And there was a guy who pulled up to the back lot of VCF Midwest and opened his trunk, and he had saved a bunch of Apple IIs from like a school or something. Adam came and grabbed me and said, "Hey, there's Apple IIs out here." So Adam bought a bunch of them, and said, "Well, that one's for you." And I'm like fishing around in my pockets, and I look at the guy and I'm like, I got $20 cash left on me, and he says, "Fine." Sold it to me, gave me 2 drives to go with it, and it worked out great. So it doesn't have much in it. Just the controller card for the drives and the memory expansion. What is it? It's the 80 column 64K expansion. I opened up the power supply and removed the RIFA cap so that I wouldn't have to deal with that. Haven't replaced it yet, but it's there. One of the other things you'll notice is the alligator clips in the cable. I guess this was common practice to discourage use of the computer when it wasn't time for it. And so they cut the leads, and you have to clip them together for video to work. Either that or it broke on its own and this was their fix. I'm not sure. Anyway, so there's that. Let me switch over to the right view here. So here's the IIe, and the obligatory, oh come on, backspace isn't where I expect it to be. So it works. The beep works. The LED light comes on. I did run the self-test. The self-test comes back okay. The audio in and out through the cassette interface works. I've had it hooked up and to my computer and done. Yep, I can run them now too. I did run the built-in diagnostics. Now I can't remember how you do that. Can this play Doom? Yes, it can play Doom. No, it can't play Doom. Of course it can't play Doom. Yeah, I will say this. I'm still not 100% back cognitively after COVID. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for that to happen. Or maybe this is just the new normal. Um, yeah, the video capture isn't too bad on it. It's a really cheap, very cheap. Let me see if I can get it in the camera here. Just a really cheap, Chinese HDMI, AV to HDMI adapter, and it seems to work fine. The PC has an Elgato, one of the older Elgato capture cards in it for HDMI, and that seems to work okay. I apologize for the sniffling, but yeah, the graphics look really good. Open Apple, close Apple, control, and reset at the same time. Okay. Open Apple. There we go. So you get all the fancy colors. Oh yeah, wizard hat. It's part of the Halloween theme. Whoop. The floppy wizard hat. So it's still going through the self-test. And it said, "Oh, system okay." So apparently we're good. Okay. Now, the only other thing is that when I hooked up the floppy drives, one of the drives had a bad cable, or at least physically it appeared to have a broken pin or lead wire through the cable. So I didn't want to try it. I tried to fix it myself by just cutting out the bad section and reattaching whatever you call it, the female pin adapter for it, and that didn't seem to work. So I'm like, fine, it's a bad cable. Ordered and bought another cable. Had to clean up the drives. They seemed to work okay as far as reading. I had to deoxit the slot that this went into because you had to fiddle with the card to get it to work right. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Well, and this is the original card. So I'm going to turn it off and hook up one of the drives. Here. Precariously perched next to the machine. I am going to remove the card because one of the things you got to be really careful of is that you're putting pin 1 on these the right way. You don't want to reverse it because then you'll put 12 volts through the wrong thing. And you want to make sure that, well, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. Here we go. You want to make sure this is lined up properly. And you've got your pin 1. This cable was not, it's a colorful ribbon. So I marked it with where pin 1 is right on the cable. So you can see it there. Okay. I pulled the card out just so I can make sure I can see what I'm doing. And you can see the slot's a little, it's not as dusty and it's a little cleaner. Maybe you can see that because I deoxided the thing. Okay, so let's get that back in there. All right, so that's right. Got the drive here. I'm going to move the drive a little bit so that it's not quite so precariously perched. So while I'm preparing to do this, oh yes, also, thank you, Garth, for sending me a box of discs. So that was very helpful and useful. Appreciate it. Didn't have any. I did have one disc. Adam picked up a bunch of discs from VCF, and he gave me the one that he thought probably was still bootable. Thought I had that in here. Here we go. Okay, this is what I've been using. Why are you out of the sleeve? Get in the sleeve. I remember the first time I picked up I think it was an 8-inch floppy disk. I don't know why, but I thought it was, you wanted to make sure you didn't touch the outside part. I grabbed it by the center. And of course they corrected me right away. Okay. So, Adam gave me this DOS 3.3 disk. And you know, I had to clean things up, like the heads and stuff like that, but it booted. It just wouldn't do it every time. It was very, you know, flaky. Yeah, let's switch to the screen so you can see what's going on. So, it's loaded. Do a catalog. And it reads. Okay, so I double notched this, sorry you can't see. So I double notched this disc so that I could, because it's double sided, so I could use both sides. Initialize the disk. Oh my gosh, is it going to work this time? Now this is odd. Okay, it worked. Initializing that disk using my original controller. This is the first time that's worked. I think it's flaky because I wasn't able to get it to work before. Adam sent me a known working controller and it worked just fine with that. So now I'm starting to wonder whether this controller is actually bad or not. Because until I switched and used Adam's controller card, I could not get it to write to the disk. Who knows? Let me try it with the other drive I've got. It even aired with the drive that Adam sent me. So I was pretty sure that this card was bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, here's my other drive. Or maybe it's just sloppy. I don't know. Okay. Red line, pin 1's where it's supposed to be. Card's in. Let's put a boot disk in. It's booting. Okay. Got a prompt. Where did I put the other disk? I left it in the drive. Alright. So we'll put in this disk. Okay. See, it's not going to work. I'm going to get an I/O error. Retro Techie, I'm not turning on the G5 tower. I'm done with the G5 tower. So who else we got here? We got Rudy, Garth, Trina. Who else? 1-Bit Fever Dreams. Retro Fox. And I think that covers everybody. Who am I missing? Nope, I think I got everybody. Yeah, see, it's just spinning. It's not actually finishing up. Alright. Now, it could be a speed adjustment issue. You know, we can try that. But before we do that, let me get out Adam's drive. So Adam sent me a box of wine. No, he sent me a drive that he knows works and a controller card. So with a new cable. Okay, pin 1. Pin 1. Always check. Do not want to fry things. You put it in backwards and you kill chips on the drive. Okay. Oh. Helps if you put a disc in. It's kind of hard for it to read it that far away. Okay, it's loaded. My streaming machine is my eldest daughter's old custom build gaming machine. It's a Windows 10 box. It served her for about, I think, almost 10 years. And then she finally rebuilt it this year, or built a new one. And so now we're doing hand-me-downs the opposite direction that we traditionally do it. Okay, that initialized it. So maybe my card is fine. I don't know. Yeah, very fast repair stream. Okay. So let's take the drive that failed believe it was the colorful ribbon drive. And let's see if we can fix it. So I'm going to take the cover off. You know, it might be a fast repair stream now, but it was a long time coming. I fiddled around with these things for weeks before I finally said, help. I'm not getting anywhere. And then, you know, of course, you know, Adam and Ron and everybody reached out and gave me suggestions. You know, I didn't have any discs, so Garth sent me some discs so that I could, you know, new old stock, so I can get it working. So I had a lot of help. It's just that we just could not figure out what was going on with it. So one of the other things that Adam sent me when he sent that drive was he also sent me the diagnostic software for adjusting these things. So I'm going to move things around a little bit so I can reach the adjustment screw. Okay, it's off. And one. Going to boot with the diagnostic software. Okay, so we need to do disk drive test, and we're going to look at the drive speed. Oh, and you need to take this disk out and put one you don't care about being erased in, or you lose your diagnostic disk. Well, and of course it gives you a chance to do it. Spacebar to continue. Well, 618 RPM is just a little bit off, I think. Like twice as fast. It's spinning around like a centrifuge. That might explain why it wasn't working. And this potentiometer adjustment doesn't appear to be doing anything. Maybe this is a bad drive. Well, I can make it go faster. Wow. That's really odd. Maybe that, maybe the motor needs it. I don't know. There's other adjustment stuff that you can do with these things. Maybe the controller card's bad. So that certainly would explain why this doesn't work. Let's try turning it off and back on again. It's a really cheap knockoff $6 AV to HDMI converter called a mini AV2 HDMI upscaler 1080p. So it's got a switch on it for doing 1080p or 720. Yeah, this thing's going like gangbusters. So maybe I've got a bad drive after all. It's not even booting now. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll have to start trying to figure that one out. So let's go back to my other drive. Yes, you want 1080p with an Apple. Of course you do. Okay, and we're plugged in. Let's put the speed. Okay, we're going to try disk drive test, drive speed. Take this disk out, put this one in. Spacebar. Now, see, this is saying it's 617 RPM. That's weird. This is one of the drives we recently booted from, and it was working just fine. I'm really confused. To be fair, I adjusted this drive yesterday. But I did it using the other controller. Is drive speed somehow affected by the control card? I wouldn't think so. And if it was really going that fast, would it be able to boot? Don't trust the drive I'm booting from. I could plug it into. See, it's still saying 620. All right, I'm gonna change one thing at a time here. I'm gonna take my controller out. Or, excuse me, disk interface card out. I'm going to use the one that Adam sent me. Pin 1 goes to pin 1. And now it's not booting. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay, this is Adam's known working drive. Of course, I'm not running the diagnostic software. Okay, this is measuring the right speed. (297, 298 RPM). It's right where you'd expect it. Okay, this drive seems to be functioning properly. So Adam's drive is working with Adam's control card. So let's turn things off. Excuse me. And this thing, just visually, it looks like it's still running twice the speed it should. That's just crazy. I can make it go faster. I mean, I can use my drive card again, but it was behaving the same way. That is just freaky. Now, can you boot from the second retro techie? That's very helpful, thank you. I don't think this will do Thunderbolt. And even if I wanted to, I don't have an external Thunderbolt drive. Oh, that's tight fit. There we go. What would make the drive speed double overnight? Okay, I'm not getting anything from the second. No, seriously, what would make a drive suddenly spin twice as fast? Because I swear last night when I tried this, they worked. I don't get it. Okay, pin 1, pin 1. Okay, everything's fine there. Now, I don't know how to test Drive 2 using the software. Could the drives make the controller card bad? Because, like I said, it wouldn't. It would read just fine. The speed was fine, and then I switched over to Adam's card, and they would write fine. And now all of a sudden both of my drives are not working. And they're spinning twice as fast. They've never done that. Do you have another diagnosis software? No. This is all I have. So... Oh, so it lets you select the second drive. Okay. It's smarter than I am. No surprise there. Let's try it with both in. It still looks like it's spinning really fast. Oh, now it's not. It's measuring right. It's really low because I adjusted it really low. Let me speed it up back to where it's supposed to be. Maybe it's the diagnostic software? Yep, there goes my wizard's hat. Oh, come on. I suddenly feel a lot dumber. So this should be between 296 and 302. Could it have been not reading it correctly? Because now it looks like it's going as fast as it was. But it said it was doing 600 RPMs. I'm confused. So you want it $2.99. Okay, right there is $2.99. Maybe I should check these with a strobe and see what the motor's actually doing. Reboot and try it again. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, I could just leave that in there. It's going to boot from drive 1, right? Okay. Disk drive test. Drive speed. Slot 2. Spacebar. Okay, $2.99. What is Command Option PR? Oh, Retro Techie. No need for a strobe. The software is very good. Okay. Well, golly gee whiz. Maybe I should try the other drive now. Well, first, was it Escape, General, Slot 2. Maybe this hat doesn't work. Alright. It says it's functioning normally. Okay, this is with Adam's controller though. So what we're going to do after I check the other drive. Okay, power's off. Yo, wizard, hey? We're going to be optimistic and not take the case off. We'll just assume this is going to work perfectly. Right? Pin 1's lined up. I think it's interesting how the Apple II is a very open machine with lots of slots and stuff. Yet the Mac was very closed and you didn't have slots. So I know Steve Jobs really wanted to have an appliance machine. Why wasn't the Apple II an appliance? Maybe the Apple III was an appliance. I don't know. But it just seems odd to me. He didn't get his way initially? I don't know. Okay. Drive test. Drive speed. Drive 2. Alright, we're right around the right spot. Could it be my controller card? I'm going to try all this now with the other controller card. It looks like this needs to be adjusted down a little bit though. So I am going to do that. So what's everybody doing this weekend? I intend to do... Oh, I got the TI 99 4A game Super Chase. I got it working. And of course, then I started fiddling around with it. So it doesn't quite work right. But, oh, okay. Steve Jobs wanted the Mac. Wozniak wanted the Apple. Oh, well, that makes sense. Of course they copied the expansion slots from the Apple II. It's a successful computer. Oh, I'm trying to take this off the wrong way. Why is it that I think it should come off the front? Because that's logical? Okay. Everything's good. We're still hooked up. Drive test. Drive speed. Select 2. $2.99. All right. So, in theory, this should be good now. We are going to try the other. Whoa. Landslide. I mean, the top of this unit is very convenient for putting the drives on it when you have the lid on. So, take that off. Take this off. Set Adam's card aside. I do like the open kind of architecture on this and how easy it is to get in and do things with it. I mean, it's a very well designed machine. Okay, red stripe, pin 1. Okay, need a blank disk in here. Got that ready to boot. Oh, yeah. Post-it notes. I have some. Good point. Thank you for pointing out that I should label that good drive. Otherwise I get them mixed up. Good. Okay. Yeah, it's got a label on it saying it's good. Okay. Drive test. Drive speed. Drive 2. $442. Okay, this is one we adjusted. I'm using my controller. Is it possible that that control card is flaky and that's what's causing all these issues? Let's put the other drive back on here. The one that we just labeled good. One with a very tight fitting cable connection. There we go. Pin 1, we're in the right direction. Okay, now we know that this drive worked just fine. And the speed was set correctly. It also needs a floppy. Alright. Use the right keyboard, Eric. Drive test. Drive speed. Drive 2. Okay. You can see. It says it's 442. There's something wrong with my controller card. At least that's the common denominator here. I wonder what the speed test is like on the main drive. So let's do that. Drive test. Drive speed. Slot 1. Space. Same thing. It's reporting 440. I think this my controller card is got COVID. It turned stupid. Interesting. So maybe we've got a bad chip on it. Well, just to confirm, again, bad controller card. Bad controller card. Good controller card. Do not mix them up. Excuse me, interface card, not controller card. Okay. Okay, that's lined up pin 1. Lined up pin 1. And I don't have a boot floppy in. Disk drive test, drive speed, drive 2. Okay, speed's coming up fine. Drive speed slot 1. That's fine. Okay. So, yes, Rudy shared a spreadsheet, a diagnostic spreadsheet. And of course, I don't have Excel, but it does kind of, it doesn't really work in, oh, what am I trying to say? Google. But you can go to the page that you need to look at stuff. So, give me a second. And I will open up his spreadsheet. I need a new browser window. And I need to go to Google Drive. Shared with me. Or did I copy it to locally? I'm trying to remember where I put it. Oh, look under recent. Retro Into Diag. Oh yeah, you guys can't see my desktop. Just a minute. Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't actually function inside Google Docs. So what I did was I cheated and went to the page. Apple IIe Diagnostics. So let me get back to so I can see the chat. Issues with running. Okay. Drive just spins or IO error message appears. That's not what we're seeing. Drive will read but not write, which is what I looked at originally because that's what I thought the problem I was having is. Disk not formatted write tab. No, it's fine. Drive cable loose on disk card. Nope. Connector dirty. I don't think so. Could be the floppy drive. It could be the chips on the floppy drive. Write head dirty or damaged. Operates intermittently, reads or writes. Computer locks up. Yeah. So do you have one that do you have a situation where the drive runs faster on one controller card than it does on another? Anybody ever come across that one? Check the other table. The information table? Tab. Sorry. Which tab? So I was on the Apple IIe Diagnostics tab. And then I switched over to the IIe Information tab. Do you want me to run the built-in diagnostics? Oh, we did that. Peripheral. Okay. Peripheral cards. All right. ROM card, serial card, language card, floppy, drive, and disk 2 controller. Computer will not boot. Well, it does boot. Drive motor runs continuously. No. Drive motor not working. Stepping motor. Drive will not boot. Drive write issues. Okay. Could be a chip on the controller. Floppy motor speed test shown no information. Floppy motor speed extremely high. I don't think the speed was actually high. It just reported the speed high. So maybe it's the 74L S05 chip. Because if I assume that that diagnostic software is reading something that the drive itself would use to control the speed, that, you know, the controller card in the back or something, if it thinks that it's running faster, I don't know. That's an odd one. But make sure I've got things plugged in right. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a disk in. Duh. Yeah, I wonder if it's a bad chip on the control card. Interface card. Okay. I need to look at my screen. I'm going to test the speed on drive 1 again. Now, see, it's reporting fine. Yeah. Which interface card am I using? Now I'm starting to get confused between interface cards. Okay, so that one's fine. Let's go back to the other one again. So it says it's fine. Okay. Yeah, this is Adam's card. So Adam's card reports everything is fine. Sorry, I only got so much screen space here. I got to bring the chat back up. Yeah. Okay. Disk drive test. Speed 2. Yeah, see, it's reporting a higher speed. The first time I did it, it was like in the 600s. Now it's 442. I'm starting to think there's a floppy controller chip or interface card chip. So let's just look at this briefly. Oops. Come on, OBS. You know you really are in trouble when you need 3 monitors. Come on, tablet cam. Wake up. I can't wait until I replace my iPhone so that I can have an app that works properly instead of using a crappy Android tablet. And you really can't see much with this camera, but focus. Can you focus? Maybe I should switch to the other webcam. Nope. Nope. Wow, it's not much better. There we go. I mean, visually, this card looks okay. I mean, the chips aren't loose. They don't have any apparent physical damage. The board doesn't look like it's crufty or anything. I suppose I could remove the chips, deox it and stuff, and put the chips back on and see if it makes any difference. What do you guys think? I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's worth a try. It could be a flaky connection to one of the chips, I suppose. I mean, if the spice won't flow. Adam suggested if I thought it was this card that I could start swapping chips from the good card over to see if I could isolate it, but I'm a little hesitant to do that. He thought maybe one of the prom chips. Or something, but I really don't want to mess up chips on a known good card. So maybe I'll just try to pry these off and reseat them. I could just pop them up a little bit and reseat them and see if that makes any difference. So everybody's going to cringe. I'm using a screwdriver. Let me put my glasses on. That's probably a good idea. I do have a really ancient chip puller, but it's a really bad aluminum one, and I actually think it's probably worse than doing it this way. why do they put a resistor so close to a chip? Excuse me, a capacitor, not a resistor. You can't see what I'm doing. Mostly because I need to see what I'm doing. Oh, come Yeah, I know you can't see anything, but I'm just trying to lift up each chip a little bit and reseat it. Okay. Let's give that a whirl, see if it makes any difference. Okay. Okay, we've got our boot disk in here. We've got that one in there. Let's switch screens. Okay. Nope, I want drive speed. So this is the problem with my glasses. I see better up close without them. Drive 2. Yeah, see, it jumped right back up to 442. Yeah, and Adam's known good. It's this controller. So excuse me. More sneezing. The drive has nothing to detect drive speed in them. The software is writing a pattern to the disk and timing how long it takes for that sequence to come around each time. Oh, okay. If the drives were actually running at 440, the Apple II wouldn't be able to boot the disk. caused by an issue with the writing the pattern to the disk. Yeah, that's why I thought it was curious that it was twice the speed at 600. Now it's down around 420 though. 440 has the patterns not exactly across from each other. Oh, okay. So it could be that a line on the controller is flaky. Okay. Somebody who obviously knows way more about this than I do. Thank you. That does make sense. So if that line on the controller is flaky, could it be maybe the slot connector or the card slot lines are dirty because I did clean them, or maybe they're not connecting well? Could I have a like a flaky socket and this board just happens to work well? Or it's just a bad line on the, like a bad trace, or you would think it would work. It would either work at all or work, wouldn't work intermittently or something. I don't know. So we put this back in, close the drive. Drive test, speed test, drive 2. Oh, I don't have a disk in it. And escape is not taking me out because it wants to read it at least once probably. It's not listening to the escape. So we'll just turn it off. Turn it back on. Yeah. I've got just process of elimination. It sounds like the controller card is flaky. Which would explain some things. It must have been failing intermittently because when I first tried it, it didn't work with the drives at all. And of course I focused on the drives. I thought the heads are dirty, things like that. Then all of a sudden it started working a little bit. It wouldn't format a drive or anything. You could boot and it could read. And then I started getting I/O errors again. So I deaxed it, cleaned up the slot and everything and the card, put it back in. And then if you fiddled with the card a little bit, it would work sometimes, but it never was able to write to the disk. Then I got Adam's drive, had the same problem with his known good drive. And then today, when I tried my old card, all of a sudden it was working okay. Was able to write to a disk and stuff. Removed and fiddled around and turned things around, changed drives, and all of a sudden now it was reporting that they were twice as fast. Took the card out, put it back in, and then it was reporting 420. So it definitely was acting in a very odd way, inconsistently. But it's gotten to the point now where, like you were describing, it sounds like that one line is bad or flaky. So, that doesn't happen very often, from what I understand, that a interface card goes bad like that. It either usually works or it doesn't work, from what I've heard. But this card's definitely got issues. Sorry, I go back to the chat. You can try running the speed test with a good controller card first, then pull the disk out and write protect it, then switch the controller and run the speed test. Okay, I haven't tried that. So let's do that. Oh, I see. It would use the old pattern written by the known good control. Ah, okay. That makes sense. All right, let me get this going here then. So, drive test, drive speed, slot 2. And I do have a right tab. And it needs to go on the right hand side. Okay, so the speed's good. Escape. Should I go ahead and... Okay, am I doing the right one? Yeah. Should I go ahead and try this again with the known good controller? With the right protect tab on? Just to see that it works? I could always redo it if I'm screwing something up by trying that. So slot 2. It won't do it. It wants you to remove the right protect tab. So this software is not, you can't trick it into doing that. You know, perhaps that's something I could do with a different diagnostic program. But I think I'm going to go with the assessment that the controller is bad. Yeah, it was a good idea. But that's okay. I learned a lot tonight, and that's what this is all about. I'm a programmer, not a hardware guy, so it's not something that I'm used to doing, and I think it's great that I'm learning so much here. So, you know, and thanks to Adam for the controller card, so I can put everything together. Hot swap the right protect disk while the test is running. Okay, I'm game. So you're saying use a second disk. I get it. So we want to write protect this. Don't destroy the disk. We want to write protect this disk. and then start the test and hot swap it using the old controller, because we know this has got a good track on it, right? So we're going to turn this off. We're going to pull this controller out. I really should stick a label on this that says it's a good controller, because at one of these points I'm going to get them mixed up. Okay, here's my flaky controller. I like the way you think, John. Creative solutions. Okay. Alright. Bad controller in. Now, the nice thing is I double notched this double-sided disc, so I can put the unprotected side in and then just flip it. Okay, let's turn it on. Glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. Kind of a oxymoron there, but drive test, drive speed, drive 2. So we go ahead and do it. Let it do its thing. It's reading 618. Flip it over. It's got the Write Protect tab on it. It still says 608, but I don't know if it stopped reading it. Try flipping it over again. Okay, well, it did change. Okay, that's the side it's writing. Let's go back to the side that was written by the good test. Yes, I closed the drive door. So I'm not seeing any difference between the two. Let me try it again. Okay, this is on the side where it can write. Door's closed. Flipping. This is the read-only side. So maybe that's the behavior. It's not able to read, so it thinks the RPMs are high. You would think it would read 0 then. I don't know. Didn't write the software, right? So it could be... Well, here's the thing. It was able to boot off of this controller, so it's able to read the disk, just not in the test. The behavior I see with this card is that it errors when you try to write. So let's get out of the test. And let's try the general operation test. Of course, I'm going to have to flip it back over again. Yeah, right off the bat it says it's having problems. Yeah, it's not seeing the old pattern. Okay, well there's definitely something flaky about the controller card then. Yeah, you're only as good as the tools you're using, right? Is there diagnostic software you know of that would work better? Or would I have to write my own program to try it? Hmm. Let's try that same test of hot swapping. Okay, we want this on drive 2. And it's pin 1. This is pin 1. Okay, good. Do you think it's doing a write and then a read right back, like in a loop? Nah, then it would give you the error that it's not writable. So, all right, pin 1. Just double check and make sure I got everything set up right. Disk is in there. Got my write protect tab on it. Flip it over to the writable side. Let's try it. Okay, I'm going to try hot swapping it. Well, this is interesting. So the speed jumped up on the write protected side. I'm going to flip it back over. Huh. So that kind of points towards it being a write issue. Yeah, I think we're on to something. It's got something to do with the write capabilities. Yeah, like it jumped before I got the disk reinserted because it wasn't able to read and or write it. Maybe. Let me do this. Let me pull it out, take the write protect tab off, and do it again. And we'll see what happens. Not very fast at this. Okay. I wasn't watching the screen. Did the speed jump again? So I'm going to flip it again. Yeah, when it doesn't have the disk in, it jumps up. And if it's write protected, it jumps up. appears to be working now. So I'm going to say it's the controller card. Oh. Well, good. I mean, that's replaceable. Adam sent me one so I could replace it. I need to ship his drive back, and I'll probably ship my bag controller card to him to see if he can do anything with it, and then pay him for the controller, the interface card he gave me. But yeah, either that or buy a third drive. Although, what would I do with a third drive? The whole plan here is the reason why I want 2 drives, because there is a madness behind this. Not prepared to buy a floppy EMU yet, and I really need a 2-disk system because I want to run Pascal and do some work in that. And although you can run Pascal with a single drive, and there's a way with I think it's the version 2 of it where you can kind of cheat and flip disks. It's a lot easier to use it as it was intended with 2. So we'll see. Oh, thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, my allergies kicked in after I started to feel better from COVID. So who knows? My allergies may have been enhancing my symptoms. But yeah, definitely got the sniffles now, and I've been sneezing a lot the last 2 days. Or I picked up a plain old cold virus, although I don't know how. I haven't really been around anybody. So let's do the general drive test. Okay, it says it's functioning properly. Write protect switch. So I assume this tests the write protect switch. It's currently off. Writing can take place. Place a write protects tab. Okay. So let's do that. I think we know this works because it okay, so the write protect switch is working. So Rudy, John Morris here was very helpful in helping to diagnose this. If you read back through the chat, he thinks that it is a writing issue with the controller card. We tried to cheat the test software, and we weren't really successful with it, but it looks like it's having difficulty writing with my controller card, but everything works fine with Adam's card. So, and I won't pretend to understand the technical jargon that John was using to describe it, but the good news is that I've got a controller card from Adam that I can use, so I'll be able to set up to run Pascal, which is what my intent was originally. So we got this disk that goes in here. I've got my, I need to remove that write protect tab. So where are we at? So the current conclusion, working theory, is that my controller card is unable to consistently write properly. And it's flaky. Because it did work just fine once at the beginning of the stream. And then it started reporting a twice normal drive speed. And then, after, reinserting and removing the card and, changing things around, it started reporting a speed of around 425 instead of 600. We tried to cheat the drive speed test by flipping a disk between a writable track and a protected track so that it would read one that was written correctly with the other controller, but it kind of failed to really indicate anything. So it's John's opinion that it's probably, something related to the ability of the interface card to write. And it's not the drives or anything like that. So yeah. That's where it's at. I'm thinking what I'll do is I haven't swapped chips between the controllers. I did loosen and reseat the chips on the controller that appears to be bad. I really don't want to run any kind of risk of damaging a working controller. I'm thinking maybe I'll send that back to my bad one to Adam along with his drive back, so that maybe he could experiment with it. I don't want to risk the only controller interface card that is working right now. If I had a third one and it was known working, or I had a set of chips I could just drop in, I'd do it. But I mean, nothing's soldered on, it's all socketed. But I just don't want to risk not being able to run the drives at this point. Especially not the way I'm feeling right now. So it'd be just my luck I'd tear up a pin or do something to screw it up. So that's the theory at the moment, is that it's the controller card, interface card. All right. Well, I think I've had enough fun for one night, and I'm going to probably call it here. Because I'm getting pretty tired, and I've been told that it can take weeks or even months to fully recover from this thing and get all of your energy back. I did work most of Wednesday, Thursday, and today. But it was a bit of a struggle trying to get caught back up with work. So I did it all remotely. I'm not going into the office. But the awkward thing is I've got a new employee that's onboarding on Monday, and I'm not going to be able to be there to onboard them. Fortunately, it's somebody that used to work with us and left for maternity reasons, and now is returning to work. So that's great. It's going to be a big help to me. And I recently had a contractor that decided to leave, and it couldn't come at a better time that this person starts. The challenge is that all I'm doing is basically keeping the lights on with the work that we're doing. So it's pretty stressful, and I can only help so much, But anyway, you guys don't want to hear me talk about work. Actually, I talk about work enough at work, so it's all good, I mean, the great thing is that we're having a hard time finding people because people are able to find employment and the situation that they want to have. We're a hybrid office, and I think it's awesome that people are able to find 100% remote work. I wish I could be 100% remote, but I certainly wouldn't disparage anybody for finding a better situation than what I'm able to offer them. So, I mean, you got to think about who's number one, and that's you and your family. Um, I'll just deal with the issues and move forward. And if that means all I'm doing is keeping the lights on for now, then so be it. Um, well, I think that's it for tonight's stream. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I have a Patreon. If you're interested in contributing to that, it's cheap as $1 a month. No, it's just if you feel like it. I plan on setting up a coffee because I'd like to. There's a couple of things I would like to get for doing electronics repair that I really can't afford, and if I get a few bucks here and there, maybe they'll make it possible. The other thing, I'm on Twitter, and you can follow me there. I also have a blog where I throw some stuff up. But thanks to everybody, Rudy, good point. Thanks to everybody here for helping me out and all the helpful suggestions. And I love it when we get to experiment and try things to see if we can't sort out what's going on. So I'm learning a lot about hardware that I never thought I would get into. Like I said, I was a software developer for most of my career. And now I'm in management, and you know what that means. I had a lobotomy, and I don't know how to do anything anymore. So, but I intend to do a series of Pascal programming on the Apple II. That's why I want to get the disk going. I'm also doing a series on the TI 994A. It was the first computer I ever owned, and I learned to program BASIC on it when I was young. So, younger, I should say. Anyway, I also I encourage everybody to go to Tinker Different if you're interested in programming the Macintosh 68K. Machines. There's a great group of people that are working through. Eric Helgeson is one of the people leading the effort there to learn how to do C programming on using ThinkC. And I haven't been able to work on it recently. Too many other things going on, but that would be great. Will you Fortran on the Apple II? Heck yes. I would try that. I think Fortran is available on the Pascal system, isn't it? It's one of the disks. I took a 2-credit class in Fortran back in the 80s. So that's how much Fortran I've done. So that could be interesting. I also I noticed that there's Forth is a language that's available for the Apple and also the TI. And I've never done anything with Forth. I understand it's kind of a really interesting, maybe even frustrating language to work with, but what the heck? I'll poke around in it. So Jeremy is 3D printing a mouse case for an Apple. Oh, great. So you can do a Dell mouse. And the Dell mouse worked. Mousing with a banana. Yeah. Why would anybody mouse with a banana? I don't know. That banana shape is not good. I feel the same way about trackballs. I know that some people like trackballs. I can't stand them. Never have. But I'm rambling now. So, thanks everybody for coming out. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, yeah. I don't think Dave's doing a stream this Sunday. I think he's taking a week off. But I did order and receive a kit to build a Blue SCSI for PowerBook. And, Joe at Joe's Computer Museum is selling them now. I'm sure there'll be other sellers following. He's the first one to make it out of the box. But I think that's great. I can't wait to put that in my 180C PowerBook and get that up and running. So I might be building Blue SCSIs this weekend. I don't know. So anyway, enough. See you guys later. I'm gonna play the outro. Thanks for coming.